Hey guys, so in this episode, this was an old episode that I found of me doing like a 2019 recap that I never released, but listening to it and seeing how far I've come, things that I've worked on, things that I still need to work on, it is kind of bittersweet. It reminds me of the progress you make, I think, in life, and it reminds me of the reason why I started this podcast. So if you want to hear younger me talk about my little life update, that's what this episode is. I thought I would just surprise you guys with an extra episode. So get ready to have your cup poured into.
Hey guys, it's me, Rashiba, the podcast host of Pour Into My Cup. Thank you guys for listening. Whether you've been with me for the first episode or you just chimed in, thank you so much. I just wanted to make a podcast without featuring anyone, just because it's something I've been wanting to do for so long, but life has just been crazy. A little backstory on the podcast. I started it last year, so right now it's 2019, me recording this, and I started it in 2018. It was an idea. I was back living in Gainesville, which I'm actually in the car driving from right now, headed back to New York City. Yes, I am driving. I started it because I was really in what I felt like was a low place in my life. I was becoming stagnant. I went to the University of Florida, graduated. However, I didn't want to go back home to Miami. So I stayed in Gainesville, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do a gap year, just take a break from school. That whole cycle for me through college was school, work, and then whatever else happened. And I was like, okay, I'm going to take some time off just to live a little and just chill out. I did that, and I was like, okay, I can't do this forever. I just feel like I needed a change, something to happen. So I started the podcast to motivate other people who may be in that same phase of okay, should I start my own podcast? Should I work on my blog? Should I start a business? Should I apply for that job? Should I even talk to that guy? Or whatever the case may be, places where you have setbacks, or you're not sure if you should take the next step, or your faith isn't as strong as it should be. I wanted to pour into other people's cup and just motivate them to know yes, you can do this. Yes, apply to that job. Yes, start whatever that project is that you want to do. Even if you fail, know that you're gonna fail up. I know some things I need to work on is follow through. I will say I'm gonna do something, and shit happens, and I just end up not doing it, or things get overwhelming, and I have a hard time with admitting when I have too much on my plate, or I took on too much. And it's something that I'm working on, but I still think taking the leap and taking those chances, you never know what's going to happen or what's going to be on the other side. So it's a good and a bad thing. I'm working on it though. But yeah, so I started the podcast because of that. The name for the podcast, which if you listen to the episodes, I always ask at the end of each podcast, is your cup half empty or half full? And it's not a trick question. There's no right or wrong answer. Right now, I feel like my cup is empty. I am tired, which I know is a bad thing to do, driving while tired, but I'm just really exhausted right now. I feel better, talking. I'm, finding music that I can, sing to that gets me, pumped up. But I just feel, really tired right now. I want to, hurry up and get this stuff back to my apartment, and then hurry up and get rid of whatever I don't want to keep. But I feel full at the same time, because it's I am closing out my storage unit in Gainesville. I am officially living in New York. Will I get a driver's license for New York? Don't know yet. Don't know if I want to go that deep into being a New Yorker. But yeah, I'm really excited. Just to be taking this leap and this next step in my life and just committing to it. Back to the question I was answering, why I asked the question, Pour Into My Cup, and the backstory about how the name of the podcast came to be, Pour Into My Cup. So basically, when I was in middle school, I had a teacher who was my music teacher, Mr. Cabrera. If you went to my middle school, shout out to Mr. Cabrera. He would do I think we called it, I want to say breakout sessions, but it wasn't breakout. It was like a Wacom assignment, or they do it at like meetings where they'll be like, oh, we're gonna do like a little quick mix. I can't think of the name right now, but he gave us like a little, like, it's like something just like clear your brain, and like as you transition like from class to class, just to like get you amped up. And I remember one day he had a picture of a cup, and he was like I took it more in like an analytical way, I guess you can say, or more of like a, basically he asked us like, is the cup half empty, half full? And I was like, well, is it half empty, is it half full? And I was getting like so like into it. But what I take from it now, looking back, is like, I feel like he was asking like, how do you feel right now? Like, do you feel half empty, half full? Like, sometimes people like forget, like middle schoolers or younger like kids, they go through stuff too, and they have their own like weight on their shoulders. Yeah, they may not have like bills to pay or other stuff, but they have like guy problems. They're stressed out about how they look. It's like there's other things that they're going through and that they're thinking of. And even like us in our place where we are right now, it's like wherever you are in life, it's like, how do you feel? Like, do you feel like you're progressing? Do you feel like you're accomplishing like every goal you said you want to do, everything you set out to do? Like, that's the way I take it. And I ask the people I interview those questions because I feel like when I interview the people I interview, it's because I feel like they've accomplished so much, or they're in a great place in their life, or they're probably getting to that great place. And it's like, okay, like, do you feel like you're on your way? Do you feel like you're fulfilling your purpose? Do you feel like you're accomplishing things? Because I feel like the people I talk to, and even myself, I get curious where it's like, okay, am I doing what I said I wanted to do? Or am I doing what someone else wants me to do? Am I fulfilling like something just to show people like, yeah, I have this great life, even if it's not great? Like forget all the social media, forget what anyone's opinion or anything says. Are you doing what's going to, or what is making you happy? And is your cup full? Like, even if it's like not a general question, it could be like a day question. Like, how do you feel this day? Do you feel half empty? Do you feel half full? Okay, why do you feel half empty? Is it because you ended a relationship? Is it because you're like unsure about where you're going with your life? Is it because it was just a bad day, like, or a bad moment? Like, why is it that you're feeling this way, and what can you do to change that? Like, that's the reason why I asked that. And it's just something that I feel like it's needed. And I even ask myself it from time to time, and it's just like, okay, like, I moved to New York, great, but is this really making me happy? Is this really fulfilling me? And if at any point I feel like it's not, and I feel that way for a long term, then it's like, okay, what can I do to change to make myself like, not feel this way? So yeah, that's just that question. But a little bit of updates about me and where I am in my life. Right now, guys, I'm currently driving back to New York, as I already said. I feel like stepped into my purpose. This car is, I'm sorry guys, I'm on the fast side, and this car just slowed down. You don't do that in the fast lane, honey. I feel like right now in my life, I'm really happy. I am not sure exactly where I'm going in life right now. Like, I say that because I'm sure where I'm going, but I'm not sure how things are going to turn out. So I'm really just taking life by like playing things by ear, and just going off of the vibes. And I'm not really stressing out, because I'm the type of person, like, I feel like this is when my type A personality comes out, where I'm like, okay, what's the plan? We're going to do this, that, and the third. And I feel like me moving to New York, it was like, I knew I was going to New York, but I didn't know, okay, how I'm going to like get a job, how I'm going to feed myself, how I didn't know how everything else was going to fall into place, but it has. And I feel like that's made me like realize, okay, maybe I need to like chill out just a little bit, and just kind of like let things fall into place, and not like get so amped up on stuff. So that's where I am right now. I'm just trying to like figure all that out. I have some things possibly in the works. I won't really say too much, but I have some things in the works that I'm really excited about, and I will share with you guys. One thing that I will say that I kind of like stepping into, and I'm feeling more confident to say, is I have taken on publicist PR work. It's something that I've always wanted to do. That was like a main thing with me doing PR. I was like, I definitely want to do publicist and PR works, because I love to like motivate and amp people up and say like, yes, you should go after that dream. And it's like, okay, aside from that, it's like I also just love like helping to promote people. So like, what better way to promote people than promoting their own brand? Whether that's through social media, news management, or that sort of thing. So I started doing that, and it feels really, really good. I have paying clients, and I'm slowly learning like how to like under promise but over deliver. And I'm just figuring out that whole 9 to 6 life and the 6 to 10 or 6 until life. Even weekends, like literally the next day after I drop off the car, I'm gonna head into work so I can work on some client stuff. But it feels really, really good, and I just feel like I'm stepping into my purpose more. I feel confident, and I'm gaining more confidence in it. And just realizing, even like I had like a client or a possible client that I was gonna take on, and it ended up not working out, and it's okay. At first, I was really bummed about it because I'm like, okay, I have to get every client, and it's like Walmart. People will walk in and literally leave Walmart, and it's like it's okay. They're still able to meet their goals or make money. They're still able to make a profit is what I'm trying to say. And it's the same thing with clients. Like, people are going to come in and out, and it's like, it's okay. Like, not everyone's meant to be your client. And it's not a bad thing. It's nothing wrong with you. It just means that not everyone's meant to be your client. Maybe you guys just don't click on that level and things like that. And that was something that I learned with that client, and I'm happy about it. At first, I was really bummed about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just lost a client. Like, that could have been like a great deal, just something more to add to my portfolio. And I'm like, you know what? I want to add clients of value and things that are going to like bring me happiness and not kill me to do the work. And I just felt like that was going to be that situation. But it's okay. It's in the past. And it's just like me stepping into this publicist and PR work more. I'm just learning more and more. I'm just learning to like create the plan, but just go with the flow and go and just see what happens. Like, don't stress out about it. Just go with the flow and just see what happens. That's that. If you really follow me on social media, you'll know that I started a boutique before I moved to New York. Literally, this was like, I don't think it was dumb. It was just literally the most unplanned portion of my life I think that I've ever done. And basically, so I started my boutique like earlier that year. Like, I started it in 2017, but then I didn't really launch it until 2018. It's like the summer of July, August. So it was horrible because all I did was sunglasses. Then literally the summer's ending, and a month later I'm like, okay, I think I'm gonna decide to move. And I'm like, I can't believe I just launched this boutique, something I've always wanted to do. But I'm also doing something else that's great that I've always wanted to do, and that's live in New York. And I'm like, great, I guess I'm moving to New York. But I'm like, well, what's gonna happen with my business? So I'm like, well, we'll see as I move what happens. And I wasn't equipped anymore with like the tools that I had before to be able to really do that business. And it's okay. I do think that I am going to bring it back. I recently ran into someone, and we're going to see like if like we can work something out where we can like bring this back and really like bring it into fruition. So at least I can say I did it, and like I didn't like half-ass do it and like just launch it and that was it. I really want to like have this brand open and running and just see what happens. So yes, I'm really excited about this. Aside from those two projects, I'm not taking on any more personal projects. I decided those are the only two things I'm gonna do. Aside from the podcast. Besides that, living in New York has been really good. Visiting friends the past few days has really brought it into my attention that there are some things that I really just like. And just being back in Florida, it just shows me like how different Florida and New York are, and just like the way things happen and flow. Yeah, I am really happy to be in New York. It's just it's even like a different me in New York than the person I am in Florida, and that kind of like, it doesn't scare me, but it does change me. and I don't like it. I feel like I'm a lot meaner and just like not as approachable as I am in Florida. Like literally Florida, I was having the most randomest conversations with some random people, and it was just, that's just Florida. And I'm learning like it's okay. Not every place is going to be where you're able to like fully, I don't want to say not fully be yourself, but you just have to figure out the new, like, how you can transition into being yourself in this new place. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not sure, but I think that's what I'm trying to say. But that's been New York. Dating wise has been like, I don't want to say non-existent. It's just like a very like it's not consistent. Like when I first got to New York, I was like dating a lot, but then it kind of like slowed down once winter hit. I was like, F that, I'm not like going out, I'm gonna stay inside. And no one's really like honestly sparked my interest dating wise, honestly. Aside from that, I think for me with New York is it's like I want that sense of community. A relationship would be great, but I think like just having like those go-to friends that you can like depend on for like help and just like advice, and just like someone to go out with, like let's go get drinks, let's go to brunch, let's do this, let's do that, just those kind of things. I think that is like where I am in my life. And being back in Florida, it really like showed me like I don't have that sense of community in New York, which sucks. But I mean, I think I'm slowly building that, and that's the part that keeps me excited and just pumped up to get back there. And not like give up just yet, because it is a slow process, but you have to put yourself in places in order for it to happen. Work is going really good. I think like it's up and down in certain areas, and it's down in the areas that like I feel like matter to me the most. Not my performance. I think my performance is great. I just feel like some things have happened that have made me perform a certain way, and it makes me just feel like uneasy sometimes and unsure. And I'm not really going to go into full details about that, but it's whatever. But basically right now with like work and my outside projects is learning to find like that balance and like that sense of like peace, and not like stress myself out, and learn not to take on more than what I can chew, and just learning like how to like just live life and balance everything and just go with the flow. That's where I feel like I am like really happy with where things are. I'm just learning to be like that better version of myself, or that version that I'm trying to grow into or develop. And we're just going with the flow and seeing what happens. That's pretty much it and all that I have for you guys. I hope that this was like not like a bad episode, or like me. It was really just me rambling, I'm not even gonna lie. But yeah, also I do want to let you guys know I am gonna like try, my goal for 2020 is to be consistent with my vlog. If it ends up not working out, I'm not really gonna like feed into it any much longer, but I'm gonna try, because I feel like I have so many things that I want to vlog and just share with people and show people like, hey, this is a black girl living in the city and like figuring life out and stuff. So we're gonna see what happens, but I hope you guys still like keep rocking with me as I grow and just see how this platform continues to transform. If you're not already, follow the podcast. We are on Instagram, Twitter, and I have a Facebook page. It is Pour Into My Cup on all media outlets. Instagram and Facebook is actually where I'm the most active. Twitter, I am trying to get more active on there, so please follow, and I promise to like be consistent and just share little gems and motivations with people throughout the day. My personal social media, if you do want to follow it, it is my name, Rasheba, Rasheba, except for there's 3 A's at the end. Someone else has my real name, and she barely posts, but girl, you can have it for now. And then if you want to check out my website, it is Rasheba.com, and the podcast is on there. Services I offer is on there, and then just my blog, like my whole branding is basically on there. So go and check that out. Yeah, so leave us a comment, rate the podcast, let me know how it is. Comment under a post and let me know that you listened to this podcast episode, and just, yeah, thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. I really do appreciate it, and I just hope you have a great rest of the day, or I hope your next day is great, whatever time you're listening to it. And yeah, see you guys in the next one.
can't wait until the next episode to get your cup filled. Follow us on our social media platforms for daily inspiration at Pour Into My Cup. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast to stay updated when new episodes are released. Leave a review and pour into someone else's cup by sharing the podcast. And I have to ask, is your cup half empty or half full? Peace, love, happiness. Rashiba signing off.